Hi. Hope everybody's doing well. So we got results today and they were amazing. I know I still kind of bite my tongue because I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I don't know. And I have to make all of my kids' Valentines. So Corbin's friends are getting this. Oh no, sorry, Declan's friends. Corbin's friends are getting this. With little peanut butter hearts and baby Twix. So if you hear rustling in the background, that's what it is. And I'm sure Gracie will come in and start barking too. But great news. So it was exactly the same as last time. And there's no cancerous spots that they're worried about or that they're actively looking at. However, I think there's a lot of confusion about being stable, what that exactly means. So no matter what, once you become metastatic or once your cancer goes to another area outside the original diagnosis area. So for breast cancer, the main areas where you can kind of expect it to go, if it's going to metastasize, would be brain, bone, liver, lung. And I've gotten everything but brain, as far as we know. No, I don't. But I am kind of batshit crazy. So anyway, I still have cancer in me that we have to make sure we're constantly shooting with chemotherapy. So there might be cancer cells like floating around and the chemo goes in there and just kills them before they have a chance to attach anywhere. What happens though is at some point your body will outsmart the drug and the cancer will be like, oh yeah, I know how this works. Here's what we have to do. And that's when you have to change treatment. And so the purpose of a PET scan is just kind of see where you are and see if there's any cancer floating, like in a major organ or something that you need to be concerned about. So if you remember from the PET scan, the other day I told you, I have got like a bright, what is that little light? Wait, no, it's right there. What the heck is that? I swear. It's been a day. And this is how my hair normally grows in, which is why I tend to wear my hair like this. Because some people's comes in gray when they lose it. Some people's comes in curly. Nope, mine just stands straight up on end. So in any event, during a PET scan, what they're looking for is to see if... Oh, I thought that was Gracie. I was like, she's going to start barking. No, it's Jason. Jason might start barking. But the purpose of the PET scan is the radioactive dye will settle anywhere that there's active cancer. Or it'll... the radioactive dye that they inject me with likes cancer cells. I don't know how to even say it, but the cancer cells will metabolize it differently, I guess. And so in a PET scan, any active cancer areas will be bright white. Or shades of white, as opposed to everything else is kind of shades of gray. So even when I had cancer in my bones or my liver or lung or whatever, it would, there's kind of like a number associated with like a brightness scale. So when you would get a PET scan back, it would say like, oh, there's a lesion in this area and it's currently got that is the weirdest thing. What the heck is that?
Gracie, come here.
Anyway, it would say like it's got a brightness level of 4.7. And then say your next PET scan, so they compare your most previous to your current. And then they would say like, oh, now it's got a brightness of 7.4 or 1. And if it's gone down in brightness, your drug is working. If it's gone up, it's probably not. But that's not to say it is not, because it could just be that you haven't been on it long enough, or there could be other variables. But for the most part, with Dr. Lee, if my numbers go up, I change. So for people that know how this whole thing works, there's lines of treatment. So I'm on my 8th line of treatment, which means that I've taken 7 previous types of treatment and they failed, which is why I told Dr. Lee that my body is highly evolved because I can outsmart this drug. Luckily, we're not smart enough for this one yet. So what that will mean is I'm on my 8th drug, which is not necessarily a good thing, but I am at 3 years. So lots to celebrate today, I guess. I know that I'm just a pessimist, and I think the problem is, to me, it's great news, but I would be celebrating if they figured out how to, like, cure this, because it just means that I just got to continue on the same treatment. So I will always be on treatment, and it's one of those things where when the kids have talked to me about this whole situation, I don't know why, but the book, the monster at the end of this book with Grover comes up, because it's kind of like the lines of treatment are the things that Grover is trying to, or that you break when you turn the page. So, you know, like I was telling Corbin one day, I'm like, honey, it's kind of like Grover, and first he thinks I'm gonna try this way to stop you from turning the page, and it's a thing of ropes. And I said, but then you're able to turn the page. So I said, so it's kind of like that didn't work, so we have to try the next thing. And that's kind of how mommy's meds are, is that at some point you're able to turn the page. And so I said, so, you know, the drug that mommy's on now has been working really good, and so you're not able to turn the page, but you're still in the background trying to figure out how to turn the page. The cancer's still in the background trying to come back, but right now you've found a way to not be able to turn the page. So that's kind of a backwards way of looking at this, but right now it's great news. There's nothing that we're of concern of. So that was kind of a big day. It was kind of nice. It's kind of nice having Dr. Lee come in and be happy, because, you know, when he comes in and is, how are you doing? I'm like, apparently good. And then, you know, he told me right now everything looks good. I do have, so I like being crazy, believe me. I would rather be crazy than right with some of this. But I have had some really bad back pain, hip pain, and then I've got this weird like rib area. So the rib one, I'm going to chalk up to say that it is still from me having my gallbladder taken out. My body is just healing. I don't know. My back and hip, Dr. Lee wants me to start doing better with taking pain meds, because I don't do good with that. But then also potentially look at PT, just because one thing that I love about Dr. Lee is he wants to make sure you're not in pain and your side effects are managed the best he can. And so it's really nice. So anyway, I'm going to start walking. I need to get out and do that. But then there was something else I was going to say. Oh, marijuana, because we just talked about it. I will say one thing. I think, oh, my friends are coming over tonight to celebrate. Hi, friends. Okay, so before I leave, I don't know, no one can prove if the marijuana works or not, but I will say I never would have expected to be at this point this long. So we'll just say it doesn't hurt. Do you want to say hi to YouTube? I was like, Erin has her own channel.
I don't do the marijuana.
You don't do it? Really? Why do you think she's here at 8 o'clock at night?
No way. I'm just here for support and to celebrate.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And to help make Valentine's for tomorrow.
I know. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Okay, so Corby wanted to do a video, so we're going to do one with Corbin. And we'll see what else comes up. But good news today. Okay. Love you guys.